So yesterday, what I borrowed from Hugh Forrest from South by Southwest was patience and persistence. And I think that's so important. I think that's so important to us in this industry, especially as marketers, because we're always looking for the immediate gratification. What are the KPIs, right? If I throw up a post, how quickly does somebody comment? How quickly do they like it? What's the interaction? Same on the sales side. If I roll out a new product, how quickly is it being adopted? How quickly is it selling? What are those KPIs? And I think, we took a lot away from his session, although it was very focused on South by Southwest, which was interesting in and of itself. But we also got the patience and persistence message that it took them 30 years to grow to where they are.
And to that point, and we're just kind of rolling with it right now.
Here we go.
To that point, you were doing the tours. I attended the Storm Surge. And that patience and persistence message actually came through in the Storm Surge, because everyone talks about going to an exhibition and walking away with new business, but it's not really that. It's becoming maybe in the buyer panel they talked about, well, maybe you're not my top supplier, but maybe we've met each other. I know your name, I know who you are, you know who I am, and next time I've got a problem, I'm calling you because I know you.
Yeah, we have a relationship.
So starting that relationship is part of the process. So maybe it'll take a year, maybe it'll take 2 years, but one of these days you're going to land that sale if you are the person they need you to be.
Yes.
So that persistence, patience, even in the exhibitor thing is definitely key to remind people, because the mythical PO, walking off a trade show floor with a PO, I mean, does it happen really? I maybe have seen that. Unicorn.
Those stories are out there.
I've heard it. Rumors that it happens, but that patience, persistence message really kind of shines through, and it shined through in the exhibitor Storm Surge as well.
That's a great example of where that part of the conversation really needed to take place, and even that exhibitor Storm Surge needed to take place here at BrandStorm. It's a big part of people's marketing
41%,
budget.
41%,
but even their strategy. And especially in our industry where we are saturated with trade shows, right? And United Fresh, of course, being one of them. So there was a piece of that wanted to talk about our show, but we really were elevating the marketing value of exhibiting by hosting that exhibitor Storm Surge and that conversation.
Well, and it's also the marketing value of B2B marketing, because B2C marketing is so, I don't know, sexy right now. Everyone wants to hire an influencer and get on Instagram. And sure, that's a great way to market to consumers, but is that actually the best way to get yourself on a shelf? So maybe if we can underscore some of the key points that are B2B marketing is still really important, and how do you do it well? So I'm still figuring it out. We're still figuring it out.
And that actually came up as a question on the tour the other day, the BrandStorm tour. We had a panel of Austin brands who were talking about their businesses, and they were not produce, they were more CPG brands. And I think this question comes up often, especially at BrandStorm. How do you sell to retailers? Like, what is your secret to getting that PO, like you said, or landing that business? And it's always a good reminder from other industries that you're not in this boat alone, right? Everybody has this challenge, and there is no secret. It's relationship building. So again, goes back to that patience and persistence.
And I think too, on that point, and this is just an illustration of growing. A seed that goes into the ground doesn't come up overnight,
right?
Or a tree that's planted for tree fruit doesn't just bear fruit overnight. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes perseverance, because you're dealing with everything that's involved in that, from the labor to the weather to everything that comes into getting a piece of fruit or a vegetable from the field to market. And so those are key things that we need to keep in mind as we market fresh fruits and vegetables, and how do we do that well?
Yeah, that's a great parallel.
Well, and